The first time I saw him, really saw him, the world seemed to shift in a way that terrified me. I was standing at the kitchen sink, rinsing dishes while the late afternoon light streamed through the window. Outside, he was carrying boxes up to the small apartment above our garage. His shirt clung to his back, dark hair falling into his eyes, his jaw set with determination. He paused to catch his breath, lifting his arm to wipe sweat from his brow, and when his eyes briefly met mine through the glass, something deep inside me stirred awake. His name was Ethan. 26. My tenant. My temptation. I was 38, married to Mark for 12 years. Our marriage was steady, safe, predictable. Words that sounded comforting on paper but felt suffocating in reality. We loved each other, yes, but the spark had dimmed. Somewhere between bills, routines, and responsibilities, the fire of passion had cooled into warm embers. And then Ethan appeared, unknowingly striking a match to everything I thought I had under control. At first, it was harmless. A wave when he passed by. Small talk on the porch. The occasional shared laugh when our paths crossed. But I felt it in my chest, in the way my pulse quickened when his eyes lingered too long, in the way my breath caught when his arm brushed mine in the narrow garden path. One humid evening, I sat outside barefoot, the night air heavy with the scent of jasmine. Ethan came down with his trash, shirtless, his skin damp and glistening in the porch light. "Evening," he said, his voice low and unhurried. I swallowed hard, pretending calm. "Evening." It was nothing, just a word exchanged. But later, lying in bed beside Mark, I replayed it over and over, the heat of Ethan's gaze searing through me in memory. My dreams that night betrayed me. The first time his touch lingered, it was an accident. Or at least, that's how it started. I was trimming roses by the garage, clumsy with the shears, when Ethan approached. "You're cutting too low," he said, crouching beside me. His hand reached for the stem I held, his fingers brushing mine. The contact was light, innocent enough, yet it was like a spark finding dry kindling. My body went still, every nerve alive with sensation. Our eyes locked. For a heartbeat, the world narrowed until it was only us, the heat of his skin against mine, the hunger that neither of us dared name. He pulled back suddenly, standing too fast, muttering, "Sorry, didn't mean to." But he had. And so had I. That night, I lay awake in the dark, my body restless, every part of me replaying that fleeting touch. The dam broke a week later. A storm rolled in, rain lashing against the house, the power flickering in his apartment. He knocked on my door, rain-soaked and breathless. "Power's out upstairs," he said, water dripping from his hair. "Mind if I wait it out here?" I should have said no. I should have thought of Mark. Instead, I stepped aside. "Of course. Come in." I handed him a towel, and when our fingers touched, his eyes caught mine, dark and intense. We sat close on the couch, the storm raging outside, silence wrapping around us. I sipped my wine, nerves humming, and then he leaned in, brushing his lips against mine. It was reckless. It was wrong. It was everything I had been craving. My breath caught, but instead of pulling away, I melted into him, tasting the storm on his lips, feeling his body press against mine with a hunger that mirrored my own. "I've wanted this since the day I moved in," he whispered against my skin. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. My body told him everything. After that night, there was no going back. We became experts at stolen moments. A kiss stolen in the shadows of the garage. His hand grazing mine when Mark was nearby, the contact sending a secret thrill down my spine. Late-night texts that left me burning, sneaking into each other's arms when we thought no one would know. The secrecy only fueled the fire. Every meeting carried the risk of discovery, the thrill of danger sharpening our desire. I told myself it was temporary, just lust, but deep down, I knew it was more. Ethan didn't just awaken my body, he awakened a part of my soul I thought had withered. One afternoon, with Mark at work, Ethan pulled me into his apartment, closing the door with a desperate slam. His hands framed my face, his breath ragged, his eyes wild. "We shouldn't," I whispered, though my hands clung to his shirt. "I know," he said, kissing me like he'd die if he stopped. "But I can't let you go." Neither could I. But the weight of desire is heavy. With every kiss came guilt. With every embrace came the sharp sting of betrayal. Mark's kindness made it worse. Every smile, every casual kiss on my cheek was a reminder of the lie I was living. Yet when Ethan touched me, I forgot everything except the way he made me feel alive, wanted, seen. There were nights I lay awake beside Mark, tears silently sliding down my cheeks as I thought about Ethan upstairs, only a flight of stairs away. I told myself I had to end it, but when morning came and Ethan's hand brushed mine in passing, all my resolve crumbled. The breaking point came unexpectedly. Mark returned home early from a business trip, his suitcase rolling across the floor just as Ethan slipped out of the kitchen door. My heart seized. The air smelled faintly of Ethan's cologne, and I prayed Mark wouldn't notice. "You okay?" Mark asked, eyeing me curiously. "You look flustered." I forced a smile, my throat tight. "Just hot from cooking." That night, lying beside him, I realized something terrifying. I didn't want to stop. The risk of being caught no longer scared me enough. The danger had become part of the addiction. Now, as I sit here writing this, I don't know how the story will end. Maybe the truth will come out, maybe I'll be forced to choose, maybe everything will burn to ashes. But one thing is certain, when desire crosses the line, it doesn't care about vows, about promises, about the life you've built. It consumes, it devours, and it leaves you both exhilarated and destroyed. I know I should regret it. Maybe one day I will. But when Ethan looks at me like I'm the only woman in the world, when his hands remind me that I'm still alive, still capable of burning, I can't bring myself to wish it away. Some lines, once crossed, can never be erased. And deep down, I'm not sure I want to erase them.